This is my Dia de los Muertos. I am not scared of death. I always blame it on how I was raised. Tenle más miedo a los vivos, dice mi papá. Be more scared of the living, says my dad, because my culture believes in the afterlife. Sugar skulls are our ofrenda table to signify our loved ones. Pan de muerto nourishes them. Marigolds or sempa, I'm trying to master this. Cempasúchil es la flor de muerto, y su olor es el que atrae a nuestros seres. Salt to purify them, purple papel picado to express we miss them, incense, agua for their thirst, or cerveza for my abuela Lucha. Le gustaban las modelos negras. And pictures of them reminding us of the happiness they brought. This Day of the Dead, though, has been hard this week. We're burying our kid's father Thursday morning. He was a recovering addict, and at times I feel our Texas government system did him wrong. I'm grateful for the last memory of him to them. He was clean. But now my nephew asked me to put him on the phone, and for that, my heart hurts. This Day of the Dead, though, has been hard this year. We buried 19 children gone too young too soon because gun access is much more important. Again, for this Texas government. Because the system didn't prepare or train on what to do when someone walks in with an AR-15, and I enrolled my daughter for school this year, and the first thing I asked was about their door access and protocols. The Day of the Dead, though, the year before this was hard. We buried 246 people, possibly more, due to the Texas 2021 winter storm. We know very well this because Texas refuses to do something about our outdated power grid due to political reasons, because federal regulations are more important to avoid. So I think our Texans that needed power for their medical necessary devices were less important. Please don't forget Ted Cruz left to Cancun and Ken Paxton to Utah.
Fuck Ted Cruz!
The Day of the Dead, though, the year before that was hard. We buried many of our loved ones due to the COVID pandemic. Statistics show 89,593 Texans have died since, and most were our own minority communities. But again, I don't have to bring up to surface that our Texas government, politicians were quick to say this was a minority issue, an elderly issue, saying maybe we need to purge our states. The Day of the The Day of the Dead, though, before the year before that, last year was hard as well. We buried 23 victims in the Latino hatred death shooting at Walmart in El Paso. The shooter drove all the way from Dallas for this. However, again, our Texas government went back to everyday life the next day. The first time I celebrated El Dia de los Muertos, I was 5. I was taught how to decorate and serve our ancestors with intention. We recalled wonderful memories and lessons. We were happy they came to visit. Every year now, however, when the day comes around, we hurt. We hurt because our holiday turns out more like a bad memory of injustice for us, because my altar has more candy and toys for Dia de los Santos every year, because kids keep joining the afterworld, because who cares to fix all these issues? We can't forget Texas is made of our lineage and lands. Texas has many traditions we brought. Texas has cities with names we created. But this Texas we are now in wants to diminish us, erase us, and forget us. When people tell me they don't think our votes count, I feel the hopelessness. However, it does make me think that, to be honest, we don't have any more to lose than the beings that meant everything to us, and that is a lot. We lose our spirits more every day, but not to enjoy the afterlife. We should be tired of mourning, of hating our own holiday because it reminds us of what shouldn't have happened, and now it happens again. I don't want to add to this poem next year about how El Dia de los Muertos came around and we are reminded of tragedies again and again. Our friend that shouldn't include our tears of anguish and these broken hearts. So for that mere reason, I say we need to vote.
We also performed with my students, so there was 3 adults and 4 students, and we all shared a stage together. And my babies owned that shit. They were up there. They were so good, right? Their feedback was, own the mic. So I was like, oh, yes, that's what I want my babies to do. So this is the piece that I wrote to perform along with them. It was my piece, but I shared the stage. Porque soy morenito. Petróleo. Somos ricos. Nos tocó petróleo. Oil. We're rich. We've struck oil. Is apparently what my grandfather said when I was born, according to him. But he wasn't celebrating the richness of my life, rather making a cheap joke at the expense of my rich brown skin. You see, I was taught before I could even read that my skin would be the only cover by which others would judge me. Because I am morenito, some people assume that my family and I must come from another country other than the United States. But California has always been home to me, even if I live 5 minutes from the motherland. Because I am morenito, I have to prove that I am smart, if not smarter, by how well I can master a colonizer's tongue. Because I am morenito, some people assume that I don't speak English at all, or assume that I only speak Spanish, when, regardless of skin color, we are all capable of multiple languages. Because I am morenito, I have been seen as a problem in the very country that was built up the backs and lands of my ancestors. Porque soy morenito, tienen que agregar que soy guapo, aunque sea prieto. Because I am morenito, I have to work twice as hard, be twice as nice, be twice as humble, and more to prove myself to others, but also to myself. Because I am morenito, I have been raised to believe these things by the voices around me. Yet, the painful lies about morenitos and morenitas that have filled my childhood home were echoes from the outside world. And it wasn't until I learned to love my own skin that these voices stopped echoing in my own head. Thank you.
I don't really like it, but we'll see how it goes. Our experiences change us. They show like spray paint on the walls of an abandoned building until it becomes unrecognizable from what it once was. At some point, the walls will be coated with stupid symbols and sayings and swears and other shit. But soon enough, someone will spray paint something so amazing that it will cut through the chaos. Our experiences are like spray paint. It's a short one, but not everyone I really like. I read that a little fast, so I got another one. It's called Heart of a Warrior, the last one called Spray Paint. I have the heart of a warrior. So regardless of what anyone says due to the limitations put on me, I will continue to fight, because that's who I am. I have the heart of a warrior. I won't allow anyone to take that from me, and I won't allow anyone to take that from me. Regardless of the obstacles I face, I'll keep moving. Regardless of how hard I get knocked down, I'll keep getting back up. Regardless of how hard I get hit, I'll keep fighting back. Because that's who I am. Because I have the heart of a warrior.
This is some new shit. I just came back from New Orleans a little bit ago, so this one's inspired from this one. It's called Tall and Long. We walked past the crowd, out the back, through the tall swinging door. Long corridor, long bar, lone bartender, long for work. Sat down in the dark, used a flashlight to pull out our beer, played music we couldn't listen to on repeat. Took me back to the time when living in bars was my favorite pastime, and maybe it still is, to sit and listen, watch, catching up on the wrongdoings, the drunken confessionals, the reimagining the dreams. Life never turns out the way we expected. Plans are uncertain fail-safes. Remembering what drives me hours away from my home, seeing my family is exactly what I needed. In a different place, the middle for most of us, New Orleans, one of my favorite cities.
So this is some new rough draft shit, I guess. As of right now, it's titled A Ghost Story. 2 a.m., where are you text? The light of my phone caught my periphery, hoping the deepness of my thrust distracted you enough for you to not notice. I had no shame, actually. But if you had asked, who's that texting you? I would have replied truthfully. The woman who would have been in your current position had you not returned my text. 8 hours passed since I first messaged you. Felt you were ghosting me, so I invited her over. She was actually on her way when you finally responded. But I wanted you more. So her knocks on my door I ignored, turned off all lights, pretended to not be home, kept quiet as her knocks grew louder where I hid in my bedroom.
Yeah.
She finally gave up and left just in time before you arrived. This was a true story. No, seriously, it was a true story. It's funny how it all worked out. I ghosted one for the other, and then eventually ghosted her too. This wasn't my first ghost story. Wouldn't be my last. One after another, and then another, and so on. Possibly haunted them all forever, being the image of their nightmare. But as I write this here, it's occurring to me. Chances are I'm the only one still thinking of these moments. So I guess in the end, the question is, who is the one really being haunted?
This one's called Under Pressure.
Under pressure!
The sun's golden joy only inspires jealousy. Even the stars' dim light begins to shake, so I retreat under the waves, hazy depths where the current is a constant caress. Before life got to trees, it thought we needed sharks, twice the age of the rings of Saturn. Before there were dinosaurs or grass, the ocean had already decided to be old and dark and full of teeth. Maybe emerging from that maw is what made it all so full of fear. I need to see the before, so I dream of aging in reverse, rework my bones to softness, breathe an air that's never known oxygen. I've been happier lately.
We've been at the corner store all night. A liquid to drink, some gas for sale, and standing solid where we are in our elements. Sharing sidewalk space with the homeless to try and catch the 2 a.m. stoner crowd rolling in from munchies to hopefully catch a play from our team of lumberjacks with Timberland boots on for some quality tree we stash in our boots. Our uniforms were all black, just so we can blend in. Also so that we all look the same as the cops, which same shit, different day, right? From day one, my goal was to get a trap house. The trap wasn't just a place for drug addicts and gangbangers, no. That's where the community would be. Everyone had an addiction. No matter what it was, you could get it in the trap. It wasn't just drugs, oh no. You could get anything you needed. Boosters, we'd pull up with electronics and jewelry, clothing, fake designer clothes. The ice cream man was there. It was one of the few places in the hood he knew there was money. You could buy protection in the form of a firearm or security from the thugs that would hang out there. You could even make money from running a pack to throwing down domino hard enough to shake the table, to throwing dice, the clack of those plastic cubes. The clack of those plastic cubes decided if you were buying a new pair of shoes or walking home barefoot. They always had the new game systems to pass the time. Hell, my trap even had a barber. It was an underground black market ran by black people. If you couldn't find it there, someone knew where you could get it for less. Some smoked to relieve the stress or get your wifey address. Hallelujah, God bless the trap. I've learned life lessons there too. I learned more metric conversions than we were taught in school. I learned that there's no honor amongst thieves, and we don't honor thieves that take from this area. To take from someone that looks like you when we all are trying to just get ahead will eventually get you thrown back. I also learned consent is so important because we max out all rapists, molesters, and abusers. The kids are the future and the mothers are the shepherds, so anyone who hurts them isn't a man. A man is supposed to protect and provide for those he loves, so that what the trap was to protect and provide for the ones that can't. I learned to love and respect all women for what they go through, and learn to love our young ones, to guide them to follow their dreams, to defend either from any harm I possibly could, to stand up for this code of ethics even when I was swept off my feet. I was taught how to be a man of honor, integrity, chivalry, and respect. It was a community center. Since the ones we had were taken away from us, we had to build our own. Don't look down on us for building our center off drug money. Since the government doesn't seem to have a problem doing that, taxing the drugs to fund their community, they let it now. We were just ahead of the time.
I try I try every single week to bring something new, and so far it's been pretty successful, so let's see if this is a train wreck or it does pretty well. This poem is called Intended Gestures of Humility. Holes in shirts like chain link fences, allowing my skin to breathe. They call it a distressed look, the way italics bend words, the way backs break through hard labor, the way some people lay on their sides and face the wall without breathing, thinking of absolutely nothing in a time where everything matters and responsibilities cover them like rough wool blankets, the absence of warmth, the glut of added weight. When you tell people you're taking the day off from work, they all seem to understand. Mannequin postures with picture day smiles, nodding, agreeing you should, because you've been stressed so lately and you deserve a break from the world. And I wonder why we don't call those who have the ability to stop thinking heroes. They say October is the hardest month for teachers because of reasons I have yet to hear. Maybe it's the lack of holidays. Maybe it's the adjacency to Halloween. Maybe it's because I've been drinking more. Maybe it's because I've been drinking much more to ease the stress. Maybe it's because kids are assholes and don't ever stop. Maybe it's because pumpkins can crack just as easily as me. Maybe it's because I've met someone and my heart is on fire. Her lips are a stone bowl, a molcajete bearing warm water to satiate my thirst. I drink from her lips and her hip bones, consuming between breaths, gasping for air, each moment breathless and hungry like wounded animals looking for relief. I curve into her body, into the crook of bones, into skeleton spine, holding her hips as she collects splinters in each palm, running her hands and nails down the back of my cedar frame. And I whisper, asking if she wants to keep going, and she tells me with her hourglass form that time is running out for the both of us, and she needs to get home at some point, just not now. If the whole world was burning, we would all stay inside by our fireplaces and warm our backs, turning away from collapsing logs of timber, creating shadows on empty walls, holding out our hands like macabre puppeteers, shaping familiar images we remember as children. The dog on the wall goes woof woof. The crocodile mouth goes snap. The bird's wings flap, flap, flap. The man's shadow bends silently, and the show is over. Thank you.
Honjo's Garden Patio, how are y'all feeling tonight? That means that I still have more to drink. If I can do the whole thing. But I'm like, Honjo's Desert Place of Business. That's when Mandy and Andrew know to cut me off. I'm gonna do two shits. And they're old shits.
Old shit!
Thank you. This is very old. Let me see if I can. The alcohol is gonna make this very interesting. I was raised under suspicious banners that looked a lot like maritime mornings. I was taught a lot of things from a father who was godlike in that, like God, I caught most of his messages secondhand. And that forsaken feeling along the way felt wicked. But the wickedness didn't lie in the belly of what was fed. It maintained its sustenance off of the dreams in my head, because I would dream that night lights would be like lighthouses guiding Pops back home, and sometimes they did. But most of the time it was just missing food, maybe a gift, and then Pops was gone again. I would see mainstream families and want to doggy paddle out amongst their currents. My father's first lesson was merchants of death fear what they can't sell. That's why they fear no living person. And as a child, he showed me the urchins in a Mexican standoff against the barnacles. He told me loose lips sunk their vessel, son, so your knowledgeable tongue needs to act responsible. He said staying stuck to whatever stepping stone you're hanging on to is irresponsible. And he said that some barnacles leave the port, but they ride someone else's nauticals. I got my penchant for storytelling because of Pops around my bedtime, but running rat racing circles kept Pops stuck inside those deadlines. And look, I'll never make a promise that I'll probably break and it'll be my fault. But I did get diesel by rubbing my flesh wounds with salt. After after scary movies, he would say, "Don't cry, little baby, it's only the wolves howling, but they won't come close for fear of our stomachs growling. They know, unlike most, there is dynamite in a motivated person, so don't kick rocks. If you're down, son, kick your lazy ass urges. Urge yourself along in this world, son, because no one else will. Check the map, check the stars, check yourself, and then build." He would ask rhetorical questions like, "Why do forests look so complex through all the leaves?" He could look through me and say, "Kids grow up so fast, especially when they read. Because believe you me, I had pages turning quicker than wildlife experts chasing after hyenas until life caught me. And I'm stuck in a joke of an ongoing problem that turned into a behemoth." He said, "Look, but don't touch," and knuckles rattle my young cranium. But I learned that a noggin needs to take a good knocking if it's ever going to wrap around the concept of love. Given from a father, hardworking father to a son. But the Armada's calling pops again and the types were right to run. He said, "Don't speak unless spoken to." He said goodbye, so I said in return, "I love you, Pop. Now I don't want to be an urchin. I will batten down the hatches like you taught me if I'm ever caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. I will not be a landlocked sea dog who can shell out every excuse that he finds upon the beach, but I can't walk in your shoes. Wait, I can. I won't. And I will use this storytelling and build beyond my simple boat. And with my Nautilus, I'm going to plot a course skyward from zero. Time to tie, wait for no man, Pop, and I can't wait for you to be my hero." And he smiled. And he said, "Son, you've been listening. Son, it looks like I got a dreamer on the run. Son, I just pray that your legs are brave enough to carry you the whole way. And if you have but one thing to say, I hope that it's an honest one. Thank you." Ah, okay. All right. Super old shit. I don't care. Because I don't have my phone, so I just gotta do like very, very old shit. It's hot. It's hot. And I'm walking through the park one day, but it's not in the very, very month of May, no. It was right before September. It was right before fall and winter, and I'm here, visiting. Killing time, really. How's it go, man? No, not really.
Suck your shit, boy!
Man.
Mandy's his ghostwriter. I'm kidding.
Shit.
Allegedly.
I'm on the park one day, it was not right around May, no, it's over September now. Winter, I'm here visiting, killing time, really. Crossing a bridge.
Let's go.
Over a stream. Through Sewell Park's damp heat, and I showed up. To make the earth move for her. To tell her our love's distance is proximity only, not emotionally. And whatever I said, I've proved to her. But in my soul, I know that just like these leaves will soon breathe, that wicked autumn breeze, loving my life is going to leave and go on hiatus. And I hate this. That the joy I got when her name popped up on my cell phone is going to end because those calls are going to stop. That there'll be no more staying up all night and sharing sunrises after her and I volley back and forth those, no, you hang up first goodbyes. Or that the last dance my eyes will remember seeing is a salvia-sided vision of you moving through darkness, spinning and sparking stars and streaks, and still I showed up to make the earth move for her, to tell her our love's distance is proximity only, not emotionally, and whatever I've said, I'll prove to her. But in my soul, I know that just like these leaves will soon breathe that wicked autumn breeze, loving my life is going to leave and go on hiatus. But darling, this is a moment that'll make us or break us. Because as I'm standing here patient, I'm taking back the said I love yous that now seem ancient. What appeared to be written in constellations and spoken by shame now feels as though fate is saying, my bad, I was mistaken. It's like God is looking on me, walking Sewell Park's path slowly, like he's going to come down and approach me and ask me, what are you waiting on? Only I'll tell him I showed up to make the earth move for her, to tell her our love's distance is proximity only, not emotionally, and whatever I've said, I'll prove to her. But God, in my soul, I know that just like these leaves will soon breathe that wicked autumn breeze, love in my life is going to leave and go on hiatus. And I hate this, that my tongue will forget the taste of the name of her next flavor, that as soon as she walks away, I'll forget the smell of her soul's vapors, maybe. We are a different breed, and no matter the size of the stones we throw, it cannot bring down us when we act like the burning beast. Maybe what we not for lack of effort, but we don't understand what we read because you've been saying things like, you need more time to get right by me, and maybe I don't understand you, but what the fuck does that even mean? Maybe I'm not patient enough, but argue that with Sue Park's trees. Maybe these babies, and no, baby, don't go, baby. Woo! See me, because maybe it has been me. But maybe it's been you, because I'm the one standing here looking like an asshole trying to make the earth move. And it fucking moved for you. And I know that you felt that. On those long nights we would cry goodbye, and I would say our love's distance is proximity only, darling, and I love you. But in my soul I know. And I can see these leaves turning brown from green. And I can see love coming. But she's coming to leave. Thank you.
So, I wasn't planning on reading, but my friends basically bullied me into getting up here. For one very specific reason, I published my first poetry book. Girls Volume 1. It's available on Amazon. It's $12. I'll have author's copies soon, but if you want the link, you could,
But tell them you make more money.
Oh yeah, you're right. If you buy it from Amazon, I make $5.05. But if you buy it from me, I make $10.05. So buy it from me if you want. I won't have the author's copy though until Rooster. What's the date? December. No. December 7th, which will be my birthday party here at Blah. Plus, I guess my book release. So Darian Palooza, December 7th, come out. I'm gonna take the next morning off so we can get booked up. My coworker Taylor, same. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna read you one poem, and I know I'm very happy with my book. It's very fucking sad. Who don't know me or you've never seen my poetry. Again, my name is Darian. I write love poems for sad girls, which is why my book is titled Love Poems for Sad Girls. I'm a teacher, a tia, many other things, and that gives you slightly a little bit of context for this one. My tia places a little glass jar of honey in front of me and tells me to write. His name, mija. Write down his name. Did you know honey was used as a preservative? My mother used to keep her own honey jars, used to write down the names of men hoping to keep their names sweeter for just a little while longer. She used to watch as her sister honey dipped old Spanish spells. Now I watch as my tia gives me my own honey jar. His name, mija. Write down his name. And I write graduation, a good career, a published poetry book. I slip on my list and she understands. There are so many better things to ask our ancestors for than a man. Wait, this one's upside down because I was sitting on the toilet.
Poets speak for humanity when humanity can't speak for itself.
Woo!
So profound it's upside down. The Bible is a book of stories to learn from. It's not an absolute. Alright. So that's my new shit. But I also wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about volunteerism. Because I do work for a nonprofit writing organization that brings creative writing on a professional level to our community, and we're trying to make it more and more accessible. With that comes every year we have Ink Extravaganza. It's a big fundraiser gala that we do. And when volunteers come work with us, they get the experience, they get to mix and mingle with professional writers, and they also get to sit down to a fancy-ass dinner and free cocktails. I know! That's what sold me. So, I had someone, Lauren, on the porch graciously volunteered, and I'm looking for one more volunteer. for Friday evening's gala at the Nickname Art Museum. So if anybody is interested, please come see me. All right, cool. That's my announcements. Y'all good? Yeah. Y'all ready for some poetry?